Hey guys, welcome back to Kuma Reviews. As you probably could tell from the intro, this is a really special piece. So, Sentinel's 4inch-nel, Megaman X, and he actually has a ride armor, something that I had been wanting for years and years. Sentinel never came out with it, not blaming them, it's their business decision, whatever. But I was perusing through Instagram, saw this guy that really seemed to have a knack for how figures are supposed to look, how figures are supposed to work. He was a robot fan, he was a Mega Man fan, so I hit him up, seeing if he could make this come to life, and he not only did, but he created my favorite piece that I've gotten in years. And you guys know from this channel I get a lot of stuff, a lot of really expensive stuff, and this just blows a lot of it out of the water. Permanent desk toy. So what I'm presenting to you is the MLR armor. So not ride armor, MLR. So MLR, Maverick Land Rover. You can call it MLR armor or ML armor for short. Alright, he's right here next to the 4inch-nel Megaman X. Again, that's from Sentinel. And this figure is 4 inches, just like every other figure of the 4inch-nel line. Getting that out of the way, the ride armor, for the sake of scale, is about 6 inches tall on the dot. That's what I'm seeing there. And just because I know I'm going to get asked, does it fit the D-Arts? No, of course it doesn't. The D-Arts is quite a bit taller, and you can see there, it's not as tall as the ride armor or anything like that, but come on. So that knocks that out. Now, another question that I know I'm going to get asked because I've gotten this asked a million times. No, this is not available for sale, for reproduction, or anything like that. This is a one-off piece, and it's unfortunately, well, I would say fortunately for me, because I like having rare items and stuff like that, it is going to stay one-off forever. So that's just what it is. Getting this out of the way. The MLR armor up here. Just for the sake of giving you guys a roundabout. Now, what's really cool is that it not only looks and articulates and things like that very well, but the ease of assembly and stuff is just phenomenal. So this guy, he really thought ahead, and I don't own any other ride armor, so the mini plot and stuff like that, not my bag, don't collect that stuff, so of course, didn't buy it. But disassembling this, for example, the upper body, really tight, and this is good thick plastic too, guys, so, and then getting that off. And I'm not going to take this thing all the way apart, but just giving you guys an example. So like for the upper body, so taking out the shoulders or whatever, they just pull out of here because I'm getting additional arms with the blasters as well as the propeller backpack made for it as well. But then like with this, for example, just pulls right out. You see a couple of screws there, but for the most part, it's very much so screw free and very intelligently designed. So getting this back together. You can see it has like 3 really firm square tabs, and then this backpack locks it in place. Now I'll give you guys one more roundabout before we get into the articulation and whatnot of it. Now, looking over the articulation here, I mean, there's no head or anything like that to go over, obviously. But looking at the shoulders, really soft ratchets here. So you can see the points in between the ratchets aren't very far. But they hold very, very well. And while I'm doing this, just going all the way around for you guys, I can fast forward a little bit there. I have to say, just the friction and whatnot of this piece, it's incredible. Now the shoulder doesn't do any like the armor, it is a separate piece, it's a shell, but it doesn't do any like moving out of the way or anything like that, but it does have some outward swing, limited there. Bicep swivel is at the elbow, the beginning of that, nice and tight. And what's cool is, you can't see it, but there's a pin in there, I believe. And this actually goes farther than that 90 degrees. It's like a double joint with a single joint. Now the wrist, they do 360 around. Good firm swivel. And it actually does have some rocking in there too. Rocks a little bit better to the inside than the outside because of the fact that it has this armor piece on top of the hand guard. Now where it gets even more cool is that unlike previous ride armor toys, this one actually has fully opposable fingers. So, and the thumb too. Alright, so the thumb on a ball joint here so you can move it up and down, rotate it and whatnot. And then the thumb joint has two more joints. So you don't normally see thumbs with like the multiple joints, but this one has 1 and 2, so a total of 3 in the thumb. And look how far the thumb can go. Like, you can actually do a full 90 degrees. It's really neat. Now the fingers, 2, 3, 4. Each of them has that piece here, then here. So go in and out. It does actually have a bit of finger spread in there too, which is nice. But yeah. And in terms of how firm the hands are, oh. It's on me for not making sure that it was gripping them first, but yeah. There's that. Get back to X in a second. Now the waist, full 360 here. Basic swivel. Nice, tight and firm. Alright, back to the front. Legs, really cool stuff. So, outward. And these are soft ratchets as well, the forward and back swing. So that's cool. Get that foot planted. Backwards. Alright. And this is a chicken walker, but he does have backward knee bend as well, or it. The feet does have forward and back movement. Pretty limited on the forward movement. The upward though, like up and down swing, I guess you could call it that. Pretty good. Ankle tilt. So in, out, in, out. Now this leg guard there, it does do a bit of blocking because it hits the calf area. But you can see the area there. And this is a bit of a pliable plastic. You just take it and you're able to slide it back on. See how it clicks back into place. Mail pegs on each side of that. Now looking at balance. There we go. I mean, obviously you can't get too crazy with it. You have to be realistic, balance the arms and whatnot as well. But even though this is a more hefty piece, give it a flat ground to be on and whatnot, it's still able to maintain balance and the like. It's just plain sturdy. And what's cool is that I actually got a sprite sheet for the ride armor from Megaman X, was it X3 to work with, and just doing some different poses and stuff, and it can emulate pretty much everything that the sprite sheet can do. I know it's simplistic, besides the prone position. So yeah, and the prone position would be when it's, I believe, top of my head, it's basically just sitting down. It can still balance like that, but the butt does not touch as it would on the sprite sheet. And again, that's just me being picky anal. I don't care. I'd never have it in that position. But just in terms of what it can do, even from the intro, you can see that it does quite a bit. Now, this thing doesn't have an area where it just cheaps out, skips detailing and whatnot. Take a look at the control panel. And I'm trying to give you guys as much detail as possible, because even though this guy isn't producing any more of these, if you're somebody who's an ambitious 3D printer and whatnot and want to do this for yourself, by all means, I'll give you as much detail as possible. Alright, and it's nice because it has these little nubs here on the inside of the panels. He does not come with fists that have holes in them to hold traditional handles, so they actually kind of clip into here to keep them in place. Alright, get that back in. It just pegs back inside. It's a little bit hard to see on the inside there. In fact, this is, of course, on camera the first time I've had any issue finding the spot, but for transparency purposes, we're gonna do it and not take it off camera. So bam. Alright. And while we're in here, see if we can't zoom in a little bit. We'll get Megaman placed in inside. Just put him in a seated position. I prefer. I like how I'm explaining this like you're doing this at home as well, but why not? And of course, the joys of doing things on camera. I always have those problems that you've never had before. But I go for the double knee bend, kind of get them in place to begin with. And then fit in the legs first. And then I did have to take that off camera to get his hands position correctly. But you can see I've got him in the clips there. And it holds him in place really well. Zoom out there. And from there, get him into position. And these joints are so tight and smooth that like I feel like it's a stop motion even though my hands are on them. It's really cool. Get his head straight. And voila. Alright. Now get him on here. Give you guys a roundabout so you can see what it looks like with an actual pilot. And man, I'm telling you guys, I cannot wait to have the propeller for this thing in hand. And not too crazy much to it. I mean, it looks good, it plays really well. And yeah, I mean, the MLR armor is just fantastic. I will go ahead and, just for the sake of posing this thing, I love playing with it. It's a permanent desk toy for me. But, show you guys just the range of motion and stuff like that. Do I wanna... Megaman X2, I believe it was. You can unlock the Shoryuken. Kind of like in Megaman X1, where the hidden Easter egg was the Hadouken. Alright, and just to leave it with a cool pose, again, this has been the MLR Armor Maverick Land Rover by JLR Designs. Incredibly done. I'd of course like to thank him publicly for his time and effort into not only designing this thing, but printing it as well, man. It's a great mind that not only had the idea, was able to put it into physical form, which says a lot. I mean, how many of us have cool ideas that we wish we could draw, we wish we could print, you know, that kind of stuff. And of course, I'd like to thank Sentinel as well for creating the 4-inch line and this Megaman X figure, which is one of my favorite figures ever. It's just a fun piece to play with. Kind of hard to find now, especially at prices that aren't insane, but if you can find one for a price that you find suitable, I definitely recommend it. You can see that review and gallery on my site, on this YouTube channel, etc., etc. But yeah, it's peanut butter and jelly right here, man. This figure, this ride armor, pride of my collection. If you have any questions or comments, by all means, write them down in the comment section. You could also email me, info@kumastyledesigns.com. I don't know how soon it's going to come, kind of in the middle of a move and packing and stuff like that, but full article and gallery will be on kumastyle.com sooner than later. As always, thank you guys for your support. Links to JLR, Sentinel, all that stuff will be in the description. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and see you next time.